Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. We are happy to have you here today. This video is prepared as an entertaining B1 level English listening practice, so you can improve your English while enjoying the content. If you are learning English and looking for simple, clear, and interesting listening videos, you are in the right place. In this channel, we create videos about zodiac signs, personality traits, and human behavior to help you learn English in a natural way. If you would like to watch different zodiac signs or videos at other levels, don't forget to check our playlists on the channel. You may find a series that fits your learning style. Also, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us create more videos like this. Now, get ready to listen, relax, and learn. Let's begin and discover the hidden traits of the Sagittarius man together.
Hidden trait 1. He hides his emotional sensitivity behind confidence. A Sagittarius man is often seen as confident, outgoing, and emotionally strong. But one of his hidden traits is that he hides his emotional sensitivity behind this confident image. Many people believe he is always sure of himself and not easily affected by emotions. Yet this is only what he shows on the surface. Inside, he feels deeply and reacts strongly to emotional situations, but he does not like others to see this side of him. He learned over time that showing confidence gives him control and protects him from emotional disappointment. When he feels insecure, misunderstood, or emotionally hurt, he prefers to act calm and positive instead of talking about his feelings. This does not mean he ignores emotions. It means he processes them privately. A Sagittarius man values independence, and emotional vulnerability can feel risky to him. He fears that if he shows too much sensitivity, others may try to control him or limit his freedom. Because of this, he uses confidence as emotional armor. He jokes, stays active, and focuses on future plans to avoid staying too long in emotional discomfort. In relationships, this trait can be confusing. His partner may think he does not care deeply, but in reality, he cares a lot. He simply does not express emotions in traditional ways. He prefers action over words and optimism over emotional discussion. Trust plays a very important role here. When he feels safe and accepted, he slowly allows his sensitive side to appear. He becomes more open, loyal, and emotionally supportive. This hidden sensitivity also affects how he reacts to criticism. Even if he looks relaxed, negative comments can stay in his mind longer than people expect. He may not respond emotionally at the moment, but he reflects on it later. This trait makes him emotionally complex. His confidence is real, but it is also a protective habit. Understanding this helps others connect with him better. When people respect his emotional pace and do not push him to open up too fast, he becomes warmer and more genuine. A Sagittarius man may look fearless, but behind that confidence is a sensitive heart that wants understanding, respect, and emotional freedom. Hidden trait 2. He needs freedom to stay emotionally honest. A Sagittarius man needs freedom to stay emotionally honest, and this is one of the most important hidden traits of his personality. Many people think freedom is only about travel or independence, but for him, it is deeply emotional. When he feels free, he can be honest with himself and with others. When he feels controlled or limited, he starts to hide parts of his true feelings. Emotional pressure makes him uncomfortable, and he may distance himself instead of explaining what is wrong. This reaction is not meant to hurt anyone. It is his way of protecting his inner balance. He believes that emotions should be natural and not forced. If he feels that expectations are too heavy, he may stop sharing his thoughts openly. This can confuse people around him, especially in close relationships. However, when his need for freedom is respected, he becomes surprisingly open and sincere. He talks about his dreams, fears, and beliefs with clarity. Freedom helps him feel safe enough to express emotions honestly. This trait also affects how he commits to people and situations. He does not rush emotional commitment. He wants to be sure that he can remain himself. Once he feels secure in that freedom, his commitment becomes strong and meaningful. He does not like emotional games or manipulation. He prefers clear communication and mutual trust. This hidden trait explains why he values relationships based on respect rather than control. He wants a partner who stands beside him, not above him. Emotionally, he grows best in open spaces where he can breathe, think, and feel without fear. When others understand this, they stop seeing his need for freedom as distance and start seeing it as a form of emotional honesty. For a Sagittarius man, freedom is not an escape. It is the foundation that allows him to love honestly, live openly, and stay emotionally true to himself. Hidden trait 3. He is more serious about life than he shows. A Sagittarius man often looks relaxed, funny, and spontaneous, but one of his hidden traits is that he is more serious about life than people expect. He enjoys laughing, making jokes, and keeping conversations light, yet inside he thinks deeply about his future, his values, and the direction of his life. Many people misunderstand his playful attitude and assume he does not take responsibilities seriously. In reality, he reflects a lot about success, personal growth, and long-term goals. He may not always speak about his plans in detail, but he usually has a clear vision in his mind. This seriousness is connected to his desire for meaning. He does not want to live an ordinary or empty life. He wants his actions to have purpose. Because he prefers positive energy, he does not show his worries openly. When he feels pressure about career, finances, or relationships, he may continue smiling while thinking deeply inside. He believes that complaining does not solve problems, so he tries to focus on solutions instead. This can make him appear emotionally distant, but in fact he is simply managing stress quietly. In relationships, this hidden seriousness makes him more reliable than people think. When he decides to commit, he considers the long-term consequences carefully. He may take time before making big decisions because he wants to be sure. His relaxed style hides a thoughtful mind. He analyzes situations from different angles and learns from his mistakes. Even when he fails, he treats it as a lesson for improvement. Over time, people close to him start noticing that he is not careless. He just prefers to carry responsibility without drama. This hidden trait gives him inner strength. He balances optimism with realistic thinking. A Sagittarius man may look carefree on the outside, but inside he is building a future with patience, strategy, and quiet determination. Hidden trait 4. He dislikes emotional drama more than conflict. A Sagittarius man dislikes emotional drama more than conflict, and this is a hidden trait that shapes many of his reactions. Many people think he avoids conflict because he is afraid of arguments, but the truth is different. He does not fear honest disagreement. In fact, he respects open and direct conversations. What he truly dislikes is emotional drama that feels exaggerated, repetitive, or manipulative. If there is a problem, he prefers to talk about it clearly and find a solution. However, when emotions become too intense or dramatic, he starts to shut down. He may become quiet, distant, or even leave the situation physically. This reaction is not weakness. It is his way of protecting his mental energy. He believes that problems should lead to understanding, not emotional chaos. When discussions turn into personal attacks or emotional pressure, he feels trapped. This makes him uncomfortable because he values emotional balance and logical thinking. In relationships, this trait can create misunderstandings. His partner may think he does not care enough to fight for the relationship, but in reality, he simply does not want to participate in destructive patterns. He prefers maturity over emotional games. If someone speaks calmly and honestly, he will stay and listen. He is open to improving himself when criticism is respectful. However, if he feels manipulated through guilt or emotional intensity, he will slowly detach. This hidden trait shows that he values peace and clarity. He believes that strong relationships are built on trust and rational communication. Over time, he learns to express his discomfort instead of disappearing. Still, his natural instinct is to move away from emotional storms. A Sagittarius man may not enjoy arguments, but he respects truth. What he cannot accept is unnecessary drama that blocks growth and understanding. Hidden trait 5. He secretly fears losing his direction in life. A Sagittarius man often looks confident about his future, but one of his hidden traits is that he secretly fears losing his direction in life. He is naturally goal-oriented and motivated by growth, adventure, and progress. Because of this, having a clear path is very important to him. When he knows where he is going, he feels strong and balanced. However, when he feels confused about his goals or uncertain about his future, he experiences inner stress that he rarely shows to others. He does not like to admit when he feels lost. Instead, he continues moving, trying new ideas or projects until he finds clarity again. This fear is not about failure itself, but about feeling without purpose. He wants his life to have meaning, and he wants to feel that he is improving. If he stays too long in a routine that feels empty, he becomes restless and impatient. People around him may see this as sudden change or instability, but inside he is simply searching for direction again. In relationships, this hidden fear can make him emotionally distant during uncertain periods. When he feels unsure about his career or personal growth, he may focus more on solving those problems than on emotional conversations. This does not mean he cares less about his partner. It means he believes that he must first feel stable inside. Over time, he learns that sharing his confusion can actually create stronger connections. Still, his first instinct is to handle it alone. This hidden trait shows that behind his optimistic personality, there is a serious desire for purpose. A Sagittarius man wants to look back at his life and feel proud of the path he chose. Even when he appears relaxed, he is constantly thinking about direction, growth, and the next step forward. Hidden trait 6. He tests people before he fully trusts them. A Sagittarius man may appear open, friendly, and easy to approach, but one of his hidden traits is that he quietly tests people before he fully trusts them. At first, he seems transparent and direct. He talks comfortably, shares opinions, and laughs easily. However, this does not mean he immediately gives deep trust. Trust for him is built through observation. He watches how people react to his honesty, independence, and strong opinions. If someone tries to control him, judge him too quickly, or limit his freedom, he notices it immediately. He may not confront the person directly at first. Instead, he steps back and observes more. These small tests are not manipulative, they are protective. He wants to see if someone respects his space, supports his goals, and communicates honestly. Loyalty is very important to him, but he does not give it blindly. In relationships, he may take time before becoming emotionally vulnerable. During this period, he evaluates actions more than words. If someone promises something, he watches to see if they keep their word. If they speak about trust, he checks if their behavior matches their speech. This careful process can make him look distant or unsure, but in reality, he is building a foundation. Once he decides someone is trustworthy, his behavior changes. He becomes more open, consistent, and supportive. He shares deeper thoughts and long-term plans. However, if he feels that someone has failed his trust test, he does not always create conflict. He simply reduces emotional investment. This hidden trait shows that his friendly personality does not mean emotional carelessness. He understands that real trust takes time. A Sagittarius man prefers slow and solid trust instead of fast and unstable connections. When someone proves they are honest and respectful, he gives loyalty that is strong and lasting. Hidden trait 7. He needs mental stimulation more than emotional attention. A Sagittarius man needs mental stimulation more than constant emotional attention, and this is a hidden trait that many people misunderstand. He enjoys affection and emotional connection, but what truly keeps him engaged is intellectual energy. He wants conversations that challenge his ideas, expand his thinking, and introduce new perspectives. When he feels mentally bored, his emotional interest slowly decreases. This does not mean he lacks feelings. It means his emotions are strongly connected to his mind. He is attracted to curiosity, intelligence, humor, and open-minded discussions. If a relationship becomes repetitive or predictable, he may start feeling restless. He needs growth not only in life but also in conversation. Talking about dreams, philosophy, travel, culture, or future plans excites him more than repeated emotional reassurance. Some partners may think he is emotionally distant because he does not constantly express romantic words. In reality, when he shares ideas, asks deep questions, or debates respectfully, he is showing connection. Mental engagement is his way of bonding. This trait also explains why he values independence in relationships. He does not want to feel emotionally monitored every moment. He prefers a partner who has their own interests and opinions. When both sides bring new experiences and ideas into the relationship, he feels alive and committed. If he feels that conversations are limited or that curiosity is missing, he may withdraw without clear explanation. Over time, he learns to communicate this need more clearly. Still, his natural instinct is to search for environments where his mind can expand. A Sagittarius man connects emotionally through shared ideas and meaningful dialogue. When his mind feels inspired, his heart follows naturally. Understanding this hidden trait helps others see that mental connection is not separate from love for him, it is the foundation of it. Hidden trait 8. He remembers more than he admits. A Sagittarius man may look relaxed and easygoing, but one of his hidden traits is that he remembers more than he admits. Because he does not like to hold grudges or stay in negative emotions, people often think he forgets problems quickly. On the surface, he moves on fast. He prefers to focus on the future instead of the past. However, this does not mean he has a short memory. He observes behavior carefully and stores important experiences in his mind. If someone disappoints him, lies to him, or breaks his trust, he may smile and continue normally, but inside he takes note. He does not always confront the issue immediately because he dislikes unnecessary drama. Instead, he changes his level of trust slowly and quietly. This makes his reactions unpredictable for some people. They may think everything is fine until they realize he has emotionally stepped back. At the same time, he also remembers positive actions deeply. If someone supports him during a difficult time or shows true loyalty, he does not forget it. He may not talk about it often, but it increases his respect and commitment. This hidden memory is connected to his strong sense of fairness. He believes actions have consequences. Even if he forgives, he rarely forgets the lesson. In relationships, this trait makes him more serious than he appears. He evaluates patterns over time. One mistake may be forgiven, but repeated behavior changes how he feels. Because he prefers peace, he may not explain every emotional shift clearly. Instead, his behavior becomes cooler or more distant. Understanding this hidden trait helps others realize that just because he looks calm does not mean he is unaware. A Sagittarius man chooses not to react strongly, but he always observes and learns. His memory shapes his loyalty, his boundaries, and his future decisions more than people expect. Hidden trait 9. He fears losing his freedom more than losing a person. A Sagittarius man rarely admits this openly, but one of his deepest hidden traits is that he fears losing his freedom more than losing a person. This does not mean he does not value love or connection. He does. However, freedom is part of his identity. It is connected to how he thinks, how he moves, and how he grows. When he feels controlled, restricted, or emotionally pressured, something inside him becomes uncomfortable. Even in a loving relationship, if he senses that his independence is slowly disappearing, he may start creating distance. He needs space not because he wants to escape, but because space allows him to feel like himself. If a partner constantly questions his actions, limits his social life, or demands continuous attention, he may interpret it as a threat to his personal growth. This reaction is often misunderstood. Some people think he is afraid of commitment. In reality, he is afraid of losing autonomy. There is a big difference. When he chooses commitment freely, he can be very loyal and dedicated. But if he feels emotionally trapped, his instinct is to run. He values partners who trust him and respect his individuality. He admires strong, independent people who also have their own lives and passions. When both individuals grow separately and together, he feels safe. Freedom for him is not about being single. It is about having the right to explore ideas, friendships, and opportunities without feeling guilty. If he feels supported instead of controlled, his loyalty becomes stronger. Ironically, the more freedom he has, the more willingly he stays. Understanding this hidden trait is crucial. A Sagittarius man does not leave because he lacks feelings. He leaves when he feels confined. Give him trust and space, and he will choose to stay. Take away his freedom, and he will choose himself. Hidden trait 10. He is more emotional than he shows. A Sagittarius man often looks confident, optimistic, and emotionally strong, but one of his biggest hidden traits is that he is more emotional than he shows. Because he dislikes drama and heavy emotional tension, he prefers to appear relaxed and positive. He laughs easily, changes the subject quickly, and focuses on the future instead of talking about pain. This makes many people believe he does not feel deeply. In reality, he feels everything strongly. The difference is that he processes emotions privately. When he is hurt, he does not always express it immediately. He may go quiet, spend time alone, or distract himself with work, travel, or new plans. He believes that staying strong is better than complaining. However, this does not mean he is unaffected. Words stay in his mind. Disappointments stay in his heart. He simply chooses not to show weakness easily. This hidden emotional depth makes him more sensitive than people expect. He cares deeply about respect, honesty, and loyalty. If he loves someone, he protects that person mentally and emotionally. But when he feels betrayed, the pain is stronger than he admits. Instead of dramatic reactions, he may slowly detach. That detachment is not coldness. It is self-protection. Over time, if he feels safe with someone, he opens up more. When he trusts fully, he can talk about fears, dreams, and insecurities in a surprisingly honest way. Few people see this side of him, but when they do, they understand him differently. Behind the adventurous spirit and confident smile, there is a heart that feels deeply and sincerely. A Sagittarius man is not emotionally shallow. He simply chooses strength over display. And when he finally shows his real emotions, it means he truly trusts you.
You did a great job. In this video, we explored the 10 hidden traits of the Sagittarius man. We learned that he values freedom deeply, needs mental stimulation, remembers more than he shows, fears losing independence, and feels emotions more strongly than people expect. He may look relaxed and adventurous on the outside, but inside he thinks, observes, and feels at a much deeper level. Now we want to hear from you. If you are a Sagittarius man, which of these traits describes you best? And if you know one, which trait surprised you the most? Write your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this B1 English listening content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more entertaining zodiac insights. Stay curious, stay confident, and see you in the next video.